What is up, Weekenders? I'm Corbin. Welcome to my channel. And I know it's been a while since I've posted a video. It's the holidays. I haven't felt well. The weather's been terrible. So honestly, I just haven't been doing a lot with the Bronco, but we're back. We're gonna have an awesome year. I'm super excited for 2024, and it's gonna be loaded with a ton of fun adventures, one of which I'm actually leaving for tomorrow, which is gonna be King of the Hammers. So you'll see some of the King of the Hammers gear in my Bronco. That's right, we're gonna be going through my Bronco because I've just about hit 40,000 miles on this guy. So I figured it'd be a good opportunity for the start of the year just to kind of go over it, my thoughts on the Bronco, my gripes, complaints, some of the stuff that I've done off camera to it here recently, just to kind of add a couple things to it, just kind of spin you guys up to speed before we head out to King of Hammers, so that you guys know what's going on. So let's jump right into it and show you guys what's up with the Bronco. So first things first, I figured we would talk about the engine. I do have the 2.3 liter, and honestly, for the past 40,000 miles, I've had this thing for about 2 years. Knock on wood, I haven't had any issues with this guy. I do the maintenance regularly on it, and it hasn't been an issue. I think the 2.3 is great. I actually tell a lot of people I'm highly impressed with it. I've driven a lot of the 2.7s, and honestly, I think this is a pretty good option for most people. The 2.7 has a little bit more oomph to it, but it's not enough that's going to be like highly noticeable for a lot of people. I mean, I run 37s on my Bronco and I go pretty hard, and I think the 2.3 gets me along just fine. Other stuff I have going on here, ARB is still set up. If you do remember, I used to have the air hose coming out of the rear bumper. Ever since I switched to the low bar rear bumper, it's just kind of been chilling up here in the front. I need a place to mount it. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. The air chuck, I kind of want it to come out of the front bumper, I think. I'm gonna like try to find a way to kind of hide it somewhere on the front end. This way I could just like take it and kind of plug it into the front without having to open the hood. I think that'd be pretty cool. I also had different aux switches, which we'll get into here in a moment when we get inside the Bronco. But the aux switches that I had, the trigger system ones, they just weren't reliable. They'd always get kind of stuck on or off, and just weren't very good because of the wireless system that they were. They had connection problems. So I went to a wired, more simple solution for my aux switches, which is going to be this LOSFIT system. It's been working great. I've been running it for about a month now, and honestly, I'm pretty impressed. And that pretty much does it for under the hood. As far as transmission goes, I do have a 10-speed transmission, and once again, zero issues with that. So honestly, 10-speed transmission for the win for the Bronco. I haven't actually driven any of the manual ones. I have friends with them, and they all like those too. But honestly, rock crawling and that kind of stuff, you can't really beat an automatic transmission. I guess we can move down a little bit and talk about the bumper. Lobo Off-Road H&T bumper. Been loving it. You guys saw me install this guy. I've had this on for a while now, done a ton of trails, including the Rubicon with it, and it's been great. I've touched it up in a bunch of spots where it's taken a few hits. Diode dynamic lights inside of those have been great. Recently put on the form lighting headlights, and I can report back after a couple months of having these now. They are awesome. They are super bright, and they have functioned perfectly ever since I put them in. They are a little blue at the top of the spectrum, which I did mention in my install video. So that's still true, unfortunately, but I don't think it's a big deal. As far as tires go, these were a big thing for me last year, putting on these Falcon Wild Peak RTs. You guys know that I absolutely love these tires, and that still holds true to today. I have about 10,000 miles on them. It's kind of hard to tell because they're super muddy, but there is still a ton of life left on these guys. It looks like I've actually barely put a dent into them, which is honestly pretty impressive. So I'm pretty hopeful that we'll actually get pretty high mileage out of these tires. And there's no weird choppiness or uneven wear going on with them. That has a lot to do with alignment and such like that, but still nice to see a tire doing what it's supposed to be doing. Wheels, Tremor wheels, still holding up great. Obviously, awesome wheels. I love the look of them. I get a lot of compliments on them. I have touched them up a bunch of times with some paint because we've scratched them up quite a bit. Rock rails, I still have the Metal Cloak rock rails. If you remember my Rubicon video, I did hit that part on the body, which is unfortunate. I'm still waiting for a decent replacement to come out so that I can replace those, but they're gonna stay on there until then. Another gripe that I have is actually with the windows on the Bronco, and I know I'm not the only one that has had this issue, and it's when you open the door, you see that? It just kind of like grabs. And I think the window needs to be adjusted, and I don't really know how to do it. And I've asked the dealership to do it a couple times, and they always say they do it, and then it still always does it. So I don't really know what's up with that. Super annoying. It does it on this door, and sometimes it does it on this door, which is super annoying. I don't know if that's just like a Bronco curse or what, but yeah, that door doesn't do it as much, huh? Another thing is the windows. I mean, granted, I do be running them a lot of trees and such on the trail, but the windows do scratch pretty easily. Specifically, these soft top windows is what I'm referring to. Is the plastic is pretty soft and it's gonna scratch if you absolutely just touch it on anything. Moving around, rear bumper, Lobo Off-Road Agent T rear bumper, also been holding up great. No complaints there. I did put a fire extinguisher back on and actually just mounted it to like this RTR rear tire carrier, I guess you could call it. Just kind of like mounted up in there. It's a little difficult to get off, which is kind of counterintuitive, a fire extinguisher, I know, but at least I have one. If you have a better suggestion of where I should put it, let me know. I don't like the roll cage because it's also a huge pain in the butt to get to with the soft top. Moving around, I actually do have a Lobo Off-Road chase light bracket now, which I actually just put on off camera, and I put some dynamic lights on it, which I have these set up on a flasher, which is pretty cool, so that I can be seen at night as a chase light, and I also have a whip mount for that, so I can put a whip up on there. So between the two of those, hopefully I can get seen at night pretty well, which is cool. Moving underneath, no problems with the rear end, thankfully. Do have the new skids, Lobo Off-Road shock skids, which have been holding up great. We'll be sure to put those to the test at King of Hammers that I leave for tomorrow. Another thing is I've had some clunking coming from my front end, which is super annoying, and I'm pretty positive it is a broken CV. I'm pretty positive I have a bad CV there that's trying to pull out of the actual transfer case, which is kind of unfortunate. So we'll see what that turns into. Yeah, so I might have to change a CV axle. I'm pretty sure this driver's side one is toast. Guess I had it coming. That is the 190 front end, which is the weaker of the front ends that you can get with the Bronco. So yeah. But moving on into the inside, you can see my new aux switch panel. Like I mentioned, the Lost Fit aux switches. Those have been doing great so far, way better than the trigger system that I had before. It was cool, but this is just way more reliable. I know this isn't wireless, it's wired in, but honestly, I'd rather have something more reliable out on the trail than not. Trying to think what else I've done to the inside. Not much, same old Bronco that I've had. Seats are getting dirtier by the day. And yeah, I guess we can kind of show you guys some of the stuff I'm working with for King of the Hammers. I've got some traction boards I put in here, the Jackery. I got a helmet because you never know when the shenanigans might start. We got some fuel. Yes, those are empty at the moment. We got tools. We got more tools underneath. We got another bag of tools. We got hoses. And then we're about to put a bunch of food and gear in there. And then we're going to be off to King of the Hammers, which I am super excited for. So hey, keep a lookout for that. There's the update on the Bronco. I know that was just kind of a brief overview, but I figured I'd start the year off with a little, here's how my Bronco is doing after 40,000 miles. So there you guys go. Keep a lookout. King of the Hammer videos are coming soon. Let's do this. Let's have a good time. We'll catch you guys at the next waypoint.